halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The Browns heading out, and the pressure squarely on the shoulders of number 6 in his second season now with the Browns. The number 1 overall pick in 2018, Baker Mayfield. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
And the focus will definitely be on wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. after the trade from the New York Giants to the Cleveland Browns. How will he mesh with his new quarterback Baker Mayfield? And can they be the duo that leads Cleveland to the playoffs for the first time since 2002?
From the 38, Mayfield. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. A look now at the lineup defensively for the Ravens. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against some people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
He finds Beckham complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. That 2nd down play nets a -4. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go,
And the Browns getting set to go. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tim Williams makes the tackle. To throw, Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
This pass into the arms of Snead. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This crew against the pass, it's been a real struggle. 2nd from the bottom in the NFL, number 31.
Theories abound. People have opinions. But too often for this team this season, it's been the big play that's done them in.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He finds Roberts, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time, and it's 3rd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
It's complete to Snead. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So first possession, 4th and short. Field goal's no gimme from here. What do you think about going for it?
I'm not just thinking about it. I'm signaling, go for it. Let's get this, all right? Yeah, look, you're right. You know, the field goal's there, but it's not a chip shot. My big thing is opening drive. You're trying to establish momentum. Let's not stall it ourselves. Let's go get this first down and then continue on downfield and try and get a touchdown.
I like your confidence.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
Heading out as a Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
20. Stay with your man.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here. Watch the air.
Here's carry number 1 for Kenneth Dixon. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team, because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going, because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Following the interception, Mayfield. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Tim Williams. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Back-to-back great plays defensively. Get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown.
Mayfield's pass complete to Antonio Callaway. Touchdown, Cleveland.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out to Roberts here on the quick pass. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Defense.
So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
Now Dixon. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Play action. It's Jackson. He's got Snead. Well, they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 24 yards. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. Rolling to his left. Oh, some strong running. And he slides to avoid the hit. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 21. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Single, slop.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Dixon running from the shotgun. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
It's 3rd down and 12.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. That one is caught by Hunt. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Mayfield. Being chased out left. Now Mayfield lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Snead's got it. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Jackson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Running out of the gun with Dixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
That's it, baby.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Dixon. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 33. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Jackson to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18. Jackson, option right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Dixon. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
On the toss play, this is Dixon. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Kenneth Dixon, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force an incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Going for the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. 63 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Throwing, Mayfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first We just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They'll start the drive with Dixon. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 7.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does. I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. So here are the Browns to take over. They were losers a week ago to the Rams, but they got the lead right now as they start this drive, 1st and 10. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 2nd and a couple, Mayfield, and that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Mayfield, he's got his tight end, David Njoku. And a loose football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm coming for you. You mind? Begin. Run.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end.
Come on, baby. Let's go. 40.
Mayfield now, 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Hunt. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield down. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Here's Mayfield. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Mayfield to throw it. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the end. And now look at him go. The 30, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability.
All you hear from coaches and personnel directors in the NFL, how difficult it is for a rookie receiver to have an impact on the game. So much to learn, so much offense to absorb. Looks like he's picking it up pretty well.
I would say so. And how about that for your first career NFL touchdown?
I don't know that he envisioned it quite that way, but if he was smart, he probably dreamed about it a little bit.
This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. He was trying to go back to Beckham there, but it's going to be 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Mayfield looks to throw. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And it's the Titans out in front in that one. Marcus Mariota, 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. The veteran Phillip Rivers with a couple of touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And it's the visiting Washington Redskins who have the lead in that one. Alex Smith with 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. To throw on 3rd down. Jackson, a dump off for Dixon. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. Then tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, two teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Partners, a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Hunt. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Mayfield now from the 50. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Dixon again. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Let's go, one more.
Here's Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 23 yards, the final tally.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Jackson now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. The give running right, Dixon. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They stay on the ground with Dixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice
We all know that Myles Garrett was drafted #1 in the NFL for his ability to get to the quarterback. That's his stock in trade. But the underrated part of his game, plays well against the run, knows how to hold the point of attack.
Jackson looking to throw on third. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 41-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now it's Dixon. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now it's Jackson trying to lay one up deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target. And now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 19.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. Right back to Dixon. He will push his way down to about the 14. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. The Browns drive about to get started. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Here we go.
First down, Browns.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. Well, instead of fourth down after the incompletion, it'll be first down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
Now Mayfield. This pass complete to Higgins. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now.
Makes the score Ravens 27, Browns 24.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the third quarter.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Dixon. And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a second straight play. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He's going deep for Brown. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Landry now on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards. But, hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. Now this is Callaway on the receiving end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Browns on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Mayfield. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarter...
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the fourth quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Landry again the intended target, and it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So with less than a minute gone by here in this fourth quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to even.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great fourth quarter.
This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Give them 14 on that one and a first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
You talk about a big kick under pressure in the fourth quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a second down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing, Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for Cleveland. 41 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield, that is caught at the 7-yard line. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the run, this is Hunt. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense, but when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
3rd and long for Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Come on, man. Let's go.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson completes it to Dixon. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there, first down. On first down, they go with Dixon. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by Demarius Randall. They'll keep it on the ground. Dixon, and a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. They'll run on first down. It's Dixon. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dixon, and he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back.
Offense.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays where the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Now Jackson going for it all. And that is incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Jarvis Landry and company heading back onto the field now. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Mayfield on play action. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
I got you. I got you.
Here's Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4.
Holding.
And this looks like it's going to be holding. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's taken in by Callaway. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step is involved.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
180! Let's go! Off the block! Off the block! Off the block! Watch twitch! Hey, alert, alert! Alert, alert! Point it right, point it right, point it right. Check the hot reach.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. On 2nd down and 4, Mayfield. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
He'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Took their shot at going for the win, didn't get it. Now bring on the field goal unit, tie this thing.
It's the right call. I truly believe that. But if I'm on defense, I'm also staying a little loose here in case they want to be really aggressive and fake it.
So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 43. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll run with Dixon. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Dixon, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Quick throw taken in by Snead. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. We got double up. Double up.
On 2nd down now, it's Dixon. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding. Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
You get block me. You get block me. You get block me.
One last shot from Mayfield here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still... You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Baltimore, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head